You're live, by the way. You're live, by the way, Sheets. Hello? Hello? Okay, apparently Eric can't hear me. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me because I don't know why.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I've been talking to you. I didn't hear you. You didn't say anything.
I just got on 2 seconds ago.
No, I know. When you got on, though, I was trying to talk to you and you didn't say anything. All right, so we're live. We've been live. So basically, not a lot's changed for me from the beginning of this slate. The issue I'm running into is that I which is probably good in terms of ownership, that I don't have starting lineups for Houston yet, and
Right.
I'm going to be stacking them, but we'll probably have it early enough to where it's not going to matter much. But I am curious how that lineup breaks out. A little less interested in Boston without Devers in the lineup. You take him out of there, you really are looking at like average to below average hitters, 5 out of 9 hitters of their team, maybe even 6. So I'm a little lower on Boston, although certainly it's a good matchup. And I haven't gotten yet to as much outside of the Houston, Washington, KC, and Mets, but I do want to get to Toronto, San Diego a little bit, and a little bit of.
So you're playing Washington after all that?
A little Washington. I'm not playing full stacks. I mean, it's not all that. All what?
Oh no, I thought you didn't like them at all. I didn't think you liked any of that.
I didn't like them as full 5-man stacks. I don't have 5-man stacks, but I do think that the pricing is hard to ignore, and it's an incredible matchup. The problem is that all of these games are going to be harder to get home runs out of just because there's like wind blowing in everywhere except for the parks that are where it's cold. So it's not like there's like an awesome hitting spot outside of Coors today, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's some substitutions in San Francisco that I wasn't aware of either. I have to fix that.
For the Giants?
Yeah, I think Estrada's out.
Oh yeah, just getting the day off.
Yeah. Well, I had him projected as in, so.
Yeah, and Sable's batting second, which is a big thing if you want to play them. But I'm not playing the Giants. I don't think there's any reason to play any Giants on this slate. So it doesn't affect me any. Same pitchers for me. Still Gausman, Peralta, Brown, and Kirby as my 4 favorites, with Keller, Sale, Bieber, and Scherzer next. Do you have anything different than?
So what I did, and I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like this approach. So when I did my MME stuff, I didn't have much Kirby. So I fixed that by playing him in the 888. Nice and easy.
Yeah.
But I have a majority is like Gausman and I have Bieber, but it's mostly Peralta, Gausman. Those are the 2 top ones for sure. And then Sale. Yeah, but it's a big drop. It's mostly Gausman and Peralta, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah. Do you think that because those are both of the Baltimore and Texas sides, I think, are a little bit interesting for tournaments, but the hitting wise, just because we've seen Rodriguez, 2 out of his last 4 starts, he got completely hammered.
Yeah. I agree with that.
There is like another route where that happens again, and then John Gray is streaky in general, but he's been awesome. But this is, this Baltimore team is a little streaky with their offense, but they've certainly got some power in there. So that was the other one that I was kind of just considering, but not in a major way. Nothing I'm all that excited about. Feels like the Atlanta thing is going to be pretty popular. And again, part of my problem with the Atlanta is, again, strong winds blowing in directly from left. It's just harder to win with a stack, and people will, guys can hit opposite field home runs and all these things, but you're just eliminating a lot of your lineup. I mean, Riley, Acuna, Darno, Ozuna, I like these guys, and it's hard for me to play semi chalk, I guess, not semi, but the third most popular stack. And into the wind, I don't know. I'm just having trouble with that one a little bit. I think I'd rather play the Philly lefties in the lefty-lefty matchups than the Atlanta righties. It's sort of where I'm at.
Who's out for the Mets? Kanha, it looks like. Okay.
Yeah, the Mets lineup today was completely speculative. I don't think anybody had any idea who they were playing, to be honest. Vientos, you would have thought would have been there, but they're playing Pham again and Vogelbach. See, Vogelbach's one of those plays on paper that looks really good until you realize he's like hit like 3 home runs his last 200 at bats against righties. I actually am playing him in all fairness in some lineups because he's super cheap and he still does have power. Guys, fire on any questions and thoughts when you get there. As you know, with baseball, there's a lot less to go through, a lot less, strategizing than there is with basketball. So the shows kind of dry up a little bit faster. And I don't have my final builds totally together yet, but I do have the teams that I mentioned as my favorites. And I really like the idea. If I've come more on to that, if you wanted to play a 5-man Mets stack, if you did do the weird, the Bieber and who did I have as my other one? Bieber and Keller or something, or Bieber and Scherzer. Then you could definitely get away with a Mets stack if you get your pitcher, if the pitchers get right,
Yeah.
Hey Brandon, good to see you. Good luck to you as well, buddy. Yeah, my golf has not been going great. You got anything going?
It's a disaster. I mean, freaking. You know what? But you know what? It's my own fault. I mean, you know what I mean? Every time, I'm like, oh, this is the day that Sanjay will be actually decent, and he's just not. So.
Well, in all fairness, it is the first missed cut he's had forever. My frustrating one is Spieth, and then a lot of people's frustrating one is Finau.
Yep.
They're all the same. Just miss it. They're all just gonna miss. So. Annoying. And I do have Harris English, and unfortunately, I think I have somehow I've been 10%, and I have 15% Taylor Moore, and I just messed up by having them all in the same lineups. I don't know why. And Taylor Moore is not making the cut, so it's going to kill that one. Spieth is going to kill my lineup that was in first place most of the last 2 days, my $88. And it's fallen off big time today, but still it's, there was some hope in there, and now it's sort of waning away. It's not a fun golf week, but I have a feeling not many people are getting 6 out of 6s this week. And I definitely don't think a lot of people have Harry Hall with Harris English. Not that it matters. Sure. I did play the Grillo a little bit. It's still not going to be good enough. Anyway, all right, let's see. And the only thing different, on FanDuel, I think the pitching thing is fairly similar, except for I do agree that taking a shot on Grayson Rodriguez actually does seem to make a little bit of sense to me. I don't expect the ownership to be crazy high on him. And you could totally play these guys on DraftKings. The problem I'm having on DraftKings is there's so many cheap bats that I just don't know why I wouldn't play the top ceiling pitchers. And even the other guys like the Scherzer and the Bieber, they have every bit the same ceiling as these other guys do. So I have no problem getting off of some of the other stuff, but I do think Grayson Rodriguez as a sub 10% option on FanDuel is viable along with Reed Dead.
Yeah, I'm getting quite a bit of that actually on FanDuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm playing a big buy-in there too. I have to figure out what I want to do there. Do I have it in me to play him in the big buy-in? No.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you get into what is it getting me? What is it? Whatever. The problem is Houston is super cheap over there. The Mets are still affordable. So there's going to be some ownership there. I'm playing KC.
But like you said, I mean, Houston doesn't even have a lineup yet.
Yeah, and that's the thing that could hold it off. But if they have it before lock and it comes out the way people think, it's going to be weird if because I think enough people are playing it. I think that they'll have time to adjust if they do lead off with Dubon and Altuve's out or something.
Right.
And most of their other outfielders not named Tucker or Alvarez are pretty cheap, so you can just sort of swap those guys around.
Yeah.
But I would encourage. I just think that if the ownership is close to right on that Houston game, I think that it's even as the second highest owned stack, it still doesn't feel high enough to me owned upside wise. The problem is I say that, but Houston has been literally the nut low.
They really have.
They really have. But I mean, they've been the nut low the last 4 games in great matchups in every one of them. So that's the issue we have to deal with.
What do you got? What do you got going this weekend? Anything good?
I've got a lot of family stuff to take care of, and then a graduation for my cousin tomorrow, a birthday party the next day for a good friend, just that kind of stuff. And then I've got my kid with me the whole time. So how about you? Anything for Memorial Day?
Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. Our friends have a house in the Hamptons. We're going up there tomorrow.
Awesome.
And Sunday, Ashley's girlfriend Sarah has her her graduation. We're going to that party Sunday, and then Monday, Memorial Day. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, but it's a nice weekend with a combination of family and friends.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good one.
Yep.
You need a good one right now, Sheets.
Yep.
Time for
no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we're coming off a good night last night, and we won that poker tournament.
Yeah, that's true.
That was great.
That's so fun. It's really, really fun to.
I bought up all the chips in the rebuy period and went all in like every hand without looking at my cards.
Do that in a fun way.
Yes.
Nice. All right.
And we got to work on your schedule for this summer.
Yeah. I got to come out. I got to plan on that stuff. I'm hoping to get that stuff sorted out by the end of next week. Some tentative plans. As you know, it's a little tricky at times, especially when you have a giant family and a lot of people are old and sometimes in the hospital and trying to work around that stuff.
Is the boat on the move right now?
No, and they can't go anywhere because just so many people who are staples can't travel too far so they're going to go. We'll go up and down the West Coast.
Where is it? Where is it now? In California?
Yeah, it's in LA right now.
Okay.
LA and San Diego has been the two. Actually, I just went back to San Diego yesterday. But yeah. So just trying to get some stuff. I always give myself till after the NBA. Not that there's not much NBA stuff left to do, but that's when I sort of look at now we can take a little bit of time and I don't have as many things going on, but also it's just a good natural break. Because I tend to like to watch every finals game, even if I'm not all that into who's ever playing.
You think the Celtics are going to pull it off down 0-3?
No, I think this is what I thought would happen. I thought they would win the next 2 and then lose in 6.
Okay.
But I think that I actually think that I'm sort of surprised they're not favored. They're close.
What is the spread in the next game?
I don't know what the spread is in the game. I know for the series that the Celtics, I believe, are plus 140 and the Boston's like minus 130. I'm sorry, Miami's minus 130. I do want to say one thing really quick about this coverage of the PGA is so bad on these early days because they stay so much with the like the featured groups.
Well, I had it on ESPN Plus. I had exactly the 2 guys that were just choking like in the same group, and it was like
yeah, I feel like there was a whole group of chokers in the which was it? The
Morikawa had a nice day, but literally Finau and Kim just can't putt as usual.
Yep. Yeah, one of these days there's going to have to be something like just how profitable just eliminating Tony Finau from exactly. You'll lose twice a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Or once a year or something, I'm happy I didn't get on, but unfortunately all of him I went to
look at this. This is an interesting guide. I didn't realize it started. So Tapia is 2K flat, huh?
Yep. That doesn't do anything.
That's pretty cheap.
Really, really bad one-off play, in my opinion. 0 power. Couldn't hit a home run in Colorado. There's just tons of guys who play Corey Dickerson instead of him. Don't you know what I mean? Play a guy who can hit a home run.
Okay.
That's my take on it. I think he's going to be fairly popular, and look, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to say I would X him out or anything, but I'd rather play Corey Dickerson. I'd rather pay up for Marcelo Ozuna. I'd rather play Corey Julks. I'd rather play Tommy Pham. I'd rather play Willie Calhoun.
Well, those, but does it matter? Like, so you said it's a one-off, but can you play him as part of a stack more efficiently?
You can play the stack, but the problem is like you're stacking then a pretty bad team who doesn't hit away from home and doesn't have their best player. It's like significantly by far their best player. I mean, the fact that Rob Refschneider against a righty, I don't even remember him ever playing against righties. Like my whole life, he's had 27 at bats this year against righties because they've been wounded or whatever. He has absolute, like, he's another one who's really cheap, but like they just don't play him against righties. When he's batting fifth for you, something's going on.
Yeah.
It's not a pretty lineup. I mean, not to mention it's also weird because Kike is a better hitter than like the three guys ahead of him or the two guys ahead of him. They do have Yoshida, and I don't like Turner when he's not, like, after watching how limited his home run ability is, even in Boston, like, what are you playing for? Verdugo's a really good real life hitter, but he's not like a power guy. And again, you take away the Boston factor. So I just don't know who you actually like. There's nobody on that team I actually want to play, but the spot seems good, you know? I think the Padres are okay. I think that I have zero full stacks of the Padres, but I'd rather play Brandon Dixon than
Dude, that was the guy from the other day.
Hit a home run.
He sure did.
Hit a home run. They pulled him.
I saw that.
But they pulled him right after.
Oh,
and then he went 4 for 5 the next day.
It's ridiculous.
I just hate when they do that. It's so silly. But Scotty, to answer your question, I'm the Padres. I am totally lukewarm on. I think this spot is worse than people think these things are. Like, when you see the cheap pitcher who you don't know of, it doesn't mean that the other team is like, oh, we have to load up on them. It probably means if they get to him at all, then you're dealing with, the best bullpen in baseball. I don't really think there's much of a question behind it.
Who, the Yankees?
Yeah. I mean, at least as I have them rated as the best bullpen in baseball. So yeah, they're okay. But again, they don't have Machado either. They do have, it still has a strong lineup at the top with Tatis, Cronenworth, Soto, Bogarts. But then you get Odor batting fifth, who I actually think is totally playable. But like, these are not like the names that you necessarily are desperate to play. But I'm fine with the Padres. I just didn't get to them myself that much. They are. You can do it in a cheap way if you avoid. Unfortunately, you'd have to avoid the Tatis, Soto, Bogarts. But playing one of those guys, or maybe two with the 3 cheapies, is at least a way you can get a reasonable stack in there.
Hey, who's like really low owned? Hunter Brown on FanDuel.
Yeah, he's who I'm using in my main build.
Oh, and there you have it.
for that reason.
There you have it.
I thought about like maybe even getting weirder with it, but I was like, that's low owned enough. I'll take it.
That's plenty low owned.
Yeah, I'll take it. And it's because I'm playing. I have 1 Met, 4 KC guys, and 3 Houston. So it's not like I can be that far off the board. But also, you don't need to be as far off the board in a tournament with 1,000 people as you do with obviously 20,000 people.
That is true. And we still don't have an Astros lineup, correct?
No, we don't. At least I don't. Let me double check and see if there's an update on that.
You think Altuve plays? I mean, just for the hell of it?
I don't know. I think that I don't know. I just don't know how injured he is. I think they would like to get their offense going.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What's all this Grayson Rodriguez showing up? Texas's bats. I don't. They're like the best hitter in baseball on that team.
Which one?
Corey Seager.
Yeah, I love Corey Seager. Although I don't know how we can say anyone but Christopher Morel is the best hitter.
That's true. Obviously.
That guy, man. Wow.
Obviously.
I've never seen anybody do quite like. Oh, by the way, I do want to point out some other things. DJ LeMahieu is 2,600. I know he's not having the best year, but he's 2,600.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees are somewhat playable. Like, I don't know if I want to stack them, and I'm not all that afraid of like Musgrove right now, but it's like, I don't know. You've got him at 2,900. You've got Calhoun at 24 to you can use them to balance out the expensiveness of Judge and Glaber. There's a way you could build a stack there that I could certainly see. That's sort of how I feel about most of the stacks today. I'm not going to like hate them, but I just don't really love that many. Maybe the Blue Jays righties is something I can do to get a little different. All right. I'm probably going to get out of here pretty soon if there's nothing too much to talk through. I still haven't finished my builds yet, so I'm gonna at some point have to.
And FanDuel, I'm using 4 pitchers. I'm using the guys you think I'd be using. Brown, Gausman, Peralta, and Rodriguez. And hitting Mets, Astros are the top 2. So not particularly earth-shattering news coming out of my FanDuel lineups, I don't think. Just in case anybody cares, the Truck Series projections are up, but they have not been grabbed by Saberson due to difficulties beyond my control. But you can always cut and paste those. One of these days we'll get Brandon back in here. Maybe we can ask our stuff going again.
That'd be fun.
We were running hot there for a while. All right, let me so what do I have on FanDuel? So I just mentioned my FanDuel. Okay, so let's all right. So I don't know, again, I'll do my best to get stuff up for this weekend, subject to my semi-limited availability. No MMA this weekend. So everybody, again, make sure to watch for the lineups coming out of Houston, and if I'm around, I'll make sure to update those sheets. And I guess we can get out of here, right? Any questions out there?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot out there. Fridays tend to dry up quickly, but good luck to everyone tonight, and go Heat, I guess, this weekend.
We're rooting for the Heat.
I'm never going to root for the Celtics, but I'm still a Laker person.
That's true.
And I don't know how much it matters, particularly which one they play, but I do think that Denver is beating both of these teams.
Say that again?
I think Denver is beating both of these teams pretty easily.
Yeah.
Celtics might be a little tougher for them, but
who do you think will be tougher, Boston?
Yeah, I mean, Miami is a shell of even themselves. Like, they don't even have their whole team.
Yeah, I think at least Bam can maybe give Jokic some resistance, maybe.
You mean like Anthony Davis did?
No, not like Anthony Davis did.
Anthony Davis is the best defensive player in the NBA, though. And he couldn't do it. I mean,
no, he sure couldn't.
Jokic won't get, like, it literally, it's so ridiculous. I've never seen a guy who doesn't give a damn and ever want to score. He just does it when he's like, oh, well, if they're just going to single cover me, then I'll just go ahead and score.
Right.
But he doesn't have any interest in the rest of it at the time to try and score, or the end of shot clocks. They give it to him like they do the point guards and have him heat it up from 30 feet. And all he does is shoot like 7.
So you're not playing any. Just let me just go for this one more time.
Yeah.
So you're not playing any of these pitching bow wows like Vasquez and Schuster and any of that, or Liberatore we talked about for a few minutes.
Yeah, I just decided at the end I'm only going to spend up. There's too many ceiling level players that in good enough matchups that I'm just going to keep playing those guys.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable.
But if the value doesn't hit for me, I'm probably dead, and if it does, I might be in real good shape. Really, really, really amazing analysis there.
Who's it that I said something earlier? So I was playing golf with Matt the other day, and he hit a ball. I'm like, he's like, where is it? Well, it's either in the trap or it's not. He's like, thanks.
All right, Cheats. Well, hope you have a great weekend, man. Enjoy it, and everybody, I hope you all have a great weekend as well. Happy Memorial Day a little early, and good luck to everyone. I'm probably gonna get out of here.
All right, good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Mets.